I copied all 3 lines, chucked them into terminal and pressed enter. It's able to do them one by one. So that has now got a dev server starting for me, and it's going to be at localhost 3000. Again, if you are on, that's not up yet. If you are on TikTok, you won't be able to see this. Compiling, try. So I'm seeing an error. So all I'm going to do is, because I'm going to be lazy, I'm going to copy that, stick it back into Codex, and basically say, hey, it's not working. So I'm giving it the error. So Next.js is outdated. I see the issue. The use effect depends on, depends on undecided was declared before undecided was initialized. So again, there's a lot of code. I've just taken the error code, given it to the AI, and it changed things. We're now going to rerun the dev server. So npm, and it will start it on a new localhost. Not. So I'm being sloppy here. Where did we have this? Okay. So this CD thing here is change directory. It's just moving me into that directory, but we're doing it using the terminal rather than clicking on a folder. It looks complicated, but you're just copy pasting this stuff. There we go. We have 2 pages, one called triage, where the new items appear, and I can move them into my rundown. And then I have a second one, which is my rundown, where I can see the rundown for the day and preview the content. Let's pull in an actual, let's get Ethan Mollick Substack RSS. Does anyone know, is it just /rss.xml? What's the RSS for Substacks? I should know this. Substack, feed. So it should just be this /feed will give me the RSS. There we go. RSS is a list of all your content. If you have a blog, if you have a newsletter, and you want to syndicate it, you can create a feed like this. You don't need to know what this is or what it looks like. This is just for this particular app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ingest this feed. There we go. So now Ethan Mollick's RSS feed is in my app. I'm going to fetch latest items. No idea if this will work. Imported 5 items. Let's get rid of these example ones. Management as AI superpower. This is from Ethan Mollick. Oh no, that's cool. I didn't ask for that animation, but that's cool. This is from One Useful Thing, Management as an AI superpower. I might get pull the image, make it more visible. I'm going to discuss. I've pulled in 5 of Ethan Mollick's articles. Then we go over to the rundown, and it's, oh shit, it worked. I didn't expect it to work so well. Now I have my rundown here, Tuesday the 3rd of February. I can reorder these, and that is working. Yep, that seems to be working. Let's say I want to talk about this one first, giving your AI a job interview. Cool. I now have the whole article here. Got a little bit of a width issue, but I'm fine with that. I now have the article, and I can use that for notes. I could potentially prettify this and make it what I actually show on my live stream. That would be cool. I have the article. I could also add a summarize AI button to pull out main points. That would be cool. I don't know what this is. Open the source material, not open source. Okay, so that pulled up the web page. Normally on my stream, I would show the web page like this, which I'll probably still do. But this allows me to have all the things I'm going to talk about in one place and go to the next one, talk about the jagged frontiers, maybe open it up, show it on stream. The RSS feeder works. It pulls in the latest items, so it's not bringing any more in. I would add all of my sources, and I'm going to include Twitter accounts like Andre Karpathy, for example, Sam Altman, OpenAI. I'd add them all in here, and then each morning I'm going to have the swipe queue, where I can just go through and be like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and then have a daily show rundown. I'll probably also add an archive of the stories as well, so I can go back and look at other ones. There's a lot I can do based on this framework, what I'm putting together today. Now, that's not the important thing. The important thing is I was able to build this in less than an hour. It would have taken a lot less if I was not talking to camera, using this new Codex app. So it's good. I'm happy with that response. I'm happy with what it's built for me. Could I have built it in Claude Code? Yeah, 100%. But Claude Code is a little more technical to get started up with, whereas this is just an app you can install. This is not requiring me yet to connect to a GitHub, although you should 100% connect to a GitHub. You can keep a record and save everything. You can also have automation skills, etc. Skills are a bit broken, but that's fine. It is also, most importantly, free at the moment. If you are on the free ChatGPT plan and you have Mac OS, you can download this and start to play around. If you want to use Claude Code, realistically, it's going to cost you $100 or $200 per month. So that is a lot of money. Whereas we can get started with Codex and start building something. The upside is it's free and it's good. I'm happy with the response. It looks good, and it's been able to build a project for me easily. So I'm happy with that. On the downside is the fact that there's no preview panel. That's a nice thing to have, especially if you are not comfortable with AI coding or vibe coding. Having to suddenly mess around with the terminal, potentially you've never used the terminal before, is a barrier for some people. Again, I showed you how we can just ask Codex, like, I don't know what you're talking about, can you help? But even that is asking a lot from the user. Having a preview window would make this a lot better, like the other vibe coding apps. Codex is slow, as Nick Dobos was talking about, or asking in that Twitter thread that we looked at. Codex just takes a long time. That's fine if you've got lots of processes running and maybe they're all running for 10-15 minutes. You come back to them, you check out what they're doing, and then you move on. But waiting for Codex to finish one task, it's a little bit inefficient. So if you are going to be using it, I'd be running parallel projects, parallel threads to get as much out of it as possible. You could also experiment with using high. You could potentially drop it down to medium or low if you're feeling really, you don't need to use the best model just because it exists. I would, for maybe earlier things, like when you were doing the planning, put it in extra high, because you want to take your time, you want to get a really solid plan in place. And then when you're doing simpler things like XCUI, maybe you can drop it down. When you're doing more complicated things about functionality, you put it back up, get a feel for it.